tonight is called Avalanche. I wanted to share it because it changed my perspective about some things currently going on in society. And I'm not sure why it is, but I'm noticing that there's certain injustices in this world that resonate with us more than others. For example, I hate cruelty to animals, but I'm typically not the sort of person to rescue dogs or cats or even donate to animal shelters. Though I am saddened by animal abuse, it's just not a cause that I'm passionate about. And I know, if you are, you probably think I'm crazy. What social injustices are you passionate about? I'm guessing we all have different reasons for caring about the plight of different social and moral wrongs in our society. And the intensity of our caring may ebb and flow as we experience life. Recently, for example, I visited my children's elementary school. I had to gain permission to enter through the front locked doors, and I knew to immediately go into the office to prove to the staff that I was a safe person with a valid reason for being there. Exactly a week ago today, there was yet another school shooting at a California elementary school. It killed a student, a teacher, and resulted in the suicide of the teacher's ex-husband, who was the shooter. And as a parent and a former teacher, I can easily identify with the reactions of those people there. As 600 young children were being evacuated, the parents were desperate to know that their child was safe. It's such a horrific tragedy that occurs all too often. And also recently, I read a book called A Long Way Home. And it's also, there's a movie called Lion that's based on the book. I just haven't watched that yet. And it tells the incredible story of 5-year-old Saru Brierley, who accidentally boarded a train that took him across India. Because of his street smarts growing up in an impoverished village, he was able to survive in Calcutta for several weeks on his own before being placed in an orphanage, resulting in an overseas adoption. And several years later, as an adult, using Google Earth and relying on his memories from when he was 5, he was able to find his hometown and be reunited with his family. Like I said, it's an incredible story, but it brings to light the darkness that comes with living in extreme poverty. Now, these are just 2 examples of social injustices that are heavy on my heart tonight. There are so many bad things in this world, and I want to point my fingers and place blame. I rage against the school shooters, the corrupt governments, the disgusting child traffickers, anyone who delights in abusing and wronging others. It is beyond words. So many innocent lives are affected by the sinful choices of others. It's easy for me to condemn, and I think rightly so, and to be appalled. But here's where tonight's poem gets tough and personal. It reminded me that all sin has consequences, and whether we'd like to admit it or not, those consequences typically affect others. That means that the little wrong choices that I make can easily pile up and be devastating. It's not hard for me to deceive myself to think that my choices are my own, that they're just little things in the light of so many really bad things in this world. For me, it's often my thought patterns, being discontent with my life, lusting after things and sometimes even people, jealousy, anger, selfishness, control issues. I'm aware of these things and more as they arise, but I often choose to ignore my conscience, thinking that it's really no big deal. But all sin is a big deal. Squishing it down and ignoring it is a problem. And like the poem we're going to explore says, it may start off innocent, as safe little flakes of snow, or the other metaphor I use of the spider. It's such an insignificant creature, but it crafts such an intricate web. Sin is deceptive, and we are all so good at justifying it. Tonight, I want to shatter an illusion that many of us have. The lie that our choices just affect us. Like the school shooter who probably didn't intend to kill the innocent bystanding student, sin has an unexpected ripple effect. that can very often end in annihilation, an avalanche of unpredictable epic proportions. So my wrong choices, specifically for me, the ones I mentioned of my thought patterns, they can easily lead to broken relationships. My children, my husband, my family, my friends are all unknowingly affected. And sometimes the consequences might be overt and easy to see, but maybe at times it's just a pattern that repeats, preventing me from being my best self, that person that God intends for me to be. How many lives am I impacting negatively because of my selfishness? I mean, it's right for us to care about wrongs in this world and long for Eden. But at times, I need to stop ranking my sin and comparing myself to others. Whenever we step away from God and try to do life on our own, it will not end well. I am so grateful for His mercy and the promise that He works everything out for good. So if you watched this far, you guys definitely deserve to hear the poem. Here it is. It's called Avalanche. Funny how something so small can have such devastating consequences. Seemingly innocent, safe snowflakes. Funny how an insignificant spider can craft such an intricate web. Deceptive design, distorted danger. The choice to self-destruct is my own choice, my own. But it doesn't stop there. It falls on you too. Ripple effect. Snowbanks rising, blowing, drifting, expanding, exploding, pounding, wrecking, annihilation, utter devastation. My own choice, my own choice, my own is a lie I buy again and again. Just this once, not that bad. Won't come to anything, not even wrong. I step away from you, out on my own, and it all comes crashing down. Sin never hurts, just me.